If you've ever felt like you're carrying your entire team on your back and your household too, this episode is going to feel like a deep breath. Today, I'm talking with Daria Rudnik, a former chief people officer and executive coach who helps overloaded leaders build teams that think, solve, and operate without leaning on you for every single thing. If you're a working mom who's exhausted from being the default problem solver at work and at home, you're about to learn how to create a team that actually supports you back. Let's get into it. Hey, Mama, welcome to Career Growth for Working Moms. If you're stuck in a job that doesn't fit or burning out trying to do it all, you're in the right place. I'm Shannon, a career coach and fellow working mom. Here, you'll get simple career strategies and strength based leadership tips to help you grow with clarity and confidence. So grab your coffee or reheat it for the third time, and let's do this. Hello, welcome. Today I'm thrilled to welcome Daria Rudnik, team architect, executive coach, former chief people officer, and author of Clicking, a team building strategy for overloaded leaders. Her work has been featured on Fox, NBC, CBS, ABC, and across major news outlets for one reason. She helps leaders build teams that work, think, and solve problems without burning out. She lived and worked across the US, Russia, Israel, and supported clients on 6 continents, bringing a true global lens to what makes teams trust each other, what makes them break down under pressure, and what actually helps leaders get their time and energy back. If you're a working mom trying to grow your career and protect your well being, this conversation will give you practical ways to lead smarter, not harder, and create the kind of team support that frees up capacity for both your work and your life. Daria, I'm so excited to dive in today.
Well, thanks for having me here, Sean. And it's very exciting.
So you help overloaded leaders build teams that click. So for these working moms listening, what does a team that actually works look like, especially under pressure?
Well, I'll tell you a story. Like one of my clients, she's a working mom. She had like a 2-year-old son getting back to work, kind of felt that she's ready for the next career move. But she felt that kind of she has to do it all. I mean, she has to take care of her kid, family, and like to take care of her team members. And what we worked through with her is that she doesn't have to be there for the team members all the time. They're not babies. Well, the
Right.
baby needs her. The team members, they don't. They're fully capable of making decisions, solving problems, communicating with stakeholders. And so, what I encourage overloaded leaders to do is let your team, like, go to the team and together decide, like, who's doing what. You don't have to be the go-to person for every question. They don't need to ask you to go to you with every problem. Ask them, can you decide, like, can you talk like between yourself first, and then if there is no response, if there's no solution, then get back to me. But they can do it. So leaders should not be heroes and saving their teams, but rather empowering them to make their own decisions.
I love that. I believe totally believe that. So what about those leaders that are carrying invisible emotional labor at work? What's a mindset shift that can help them stop absorbing everything and start and really share that load that we just talked about?
Again, well, they it happens a lot with leaders who are very like well intentioned, who want to help, who want to support, and they come to me and say, I want to grow my people, I want to help them succeed. But the thing is, you cannot make them and you cannot help them in succeeding if you're taking their burden, if you're taking their tasks, their responsibilities, their problems on yourself. They can only grow if you help them make mistakes and be responsible for those mistakes, because that's how we learn, by trying it from trial and error.
Mhm.
So stop being a heroic leader and start letting them fail. That's how we learn.
What would you say to the person that may be more introverted or a quiet leader? I know we have some listeners that they're like, hey, I'm just not one that's going to be bold and just kind of go out there. What would you say to the more introverted leaders?
Well, I love that question. I mean, I work with a CEO, and he's not the kind of person who can like go and like at the town hall and speak to the whole company, of the company vision, but he knew that he needed to connect with the organization. He knew that he needed to connect with team members. So what he did instead, he actually like gathered a small groups of people, and he had very intimate conversations with them. He was able to connect with them, not being kind of out there talking, but kind of having a conversation. So you can find your own style of having one-to-one conversations, smaller group conversations. Like anything is possible as long as you connect and talk to your people. It's
Mhm.
okay. It can be in various ways.
Yeah, I love that because there are going to be times where it does need to be a little bit more intimate, and that's more comfortable and actually can be very productive. But then there's other times where there's going to be people that are like, "Hey, give me the microphone. I want to be the one out there on stage." And it's good to have a balance of all of that on a team, don't you think?
Absolutely, yes, yes. If there's someone who's ready to like step up and have do a presentation, let them do that. Everyone will be happy.
Right, exactly. What is one of the biggest misconceptions leaders have about building trust on their teams?
Well, from what I see, like one of the biggest mistakes leaders make is they have too many one-to-one conversations with their team members. And it's good. I mean, one-to-ones are important, but you cannot
Mhm.
solve all the problems with like one-to-one conversations, because that means that you have connections with all the team members, but they can have a strong connection only with you as a leader. They don't have connections with themselves, they don't have connections with their stakeholders, and they kind of feel lonely because I mean they don't have that many conversations happening. What you should do instead as a lead is connect people with each other and create micro groups, micro collaborations, have a mentor and a buddy, like anything that's make them talk and work together before they come to you, and have as like discuss problems as a team. If you have a conflict, talk to all of the people involved in the conflict. Don't do those one-to-ones. So instead of having a lot of one-to-ones, have more, like expand their network.
I love that. I love that. So, we have a lot of moms that are listening that are managing teams and managing, being a mom, a whole household, and they're feeling overwhelmed. They're feeling burnout. What advice would you give to them?
I mean, I'm not the, like, I'm sure you heard that a lot, but take time for yourself. That's the first
Yeah.
thing. I mean, that's always the
Yes.
first thing. You need to find time for yourself, take a deep breath, have a cup of coffee, whatever you're drinking, take a walk. I mean, I'm a working man myself, and I know how it feels that you have to go, you have to keep moving. It's your obligation, it's your responsibility, and you kind of feel it everywhere. But it's very important to understand that when if you burn out yourself, it's not helping anyone. So just take time for yourself. That's important.
Yeah, I love that because we think we can keep going and do it all. And instead, even if it's just 20 minutes, that we just stop and just, like you said, to have a cup of coffee, just by yourself, just get away. It kind of resets everything and allows us to have that go back in there a little bit more refreshed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you have coached or supported teams across several different continents, six, right? So, what is one universal thing that you have seen or a challenge that these people have faced through every single continent?
Oh, I love that question. And again, like we live in different cultures, and it's kind of we it's good that we are aware that cultures are different. It's good that we know that like people are different. But when you're leading a team and you have like how many people? Like 8, 10 people on your team. So forget about cultural labels and get like start knowing them as a human being, as a person. Because in different cultures, we also have different personalities. You can have someone more extroverted, like less extroverted, more outgoing, more direct in any culture. So instead of putting those labels, try to know the person and connect with them on the individual human level.
I love that. I remember when I was traveling in Europe and I saw this dad and this and his son and they were speaking German and I'm going, "Oh my goodness, I felt like he was yelling at his son." And my friend that was there went, he was telling him how proud he was, but I just didn't know what he was saying. And it's just like to me it was seemed like just a harsher language then and because then I had been in Spain and in France and Italy and so then you get to German and I just went, wow, that was my great reminder. Like, we have to really get to know the people and get to put ourselves in that situation, because I had totally misread that whole thing. And he was sitting there telling his son how proud he was. And I'm like, he's yelling at him. So
Yeah,
I,
staying open and curious and like trying to see positive intentions in all the people around you is really helping. Like,
yes.
it's helping me a lot.
Yes, it does. It does. So, what do you feel? Do you feel like AI is transforming leaders? And what is your opinion on AI in the world now?
Well, AI is influencing team dynamics a lot, like how we work with AI, how we collaborate. And it's not just like merely an automation because it kind of seems as a brain, as a mind that can think, communicate, give us complex output. So and it leads to kind of over relying on AI and the effect of called cognitive offloading when we like delegate to AI too much of our thinking process. And that makes us disengaged, like both on kind of emotional level, but also the brain. If we use AI too much in the wrong way, our brain becomes disengaged and it's very hard to take ownership for the product I'm doing if it was generated by AI. So what I help leaders do is always be in the loop, always have team conversations about AI outputs before making decisions. And again, final decisions should always be with humans. AI can give some suggestions, but get together, talk it over, critically evaluate the output, and then make a decision. And that will make you a great partner with AI, and the AI will be helping you rather than replacing you.
I love that because it does. There is some things that it can simplify and help with, but like you said, the final decision needs to be a human decision. And I love that because I feel like sometimes people think, "Oh, AI said to do it this way. That has to be the final." And I love the human emotional component that has to go in there. So, I love
Yeah.
that. What would you say to those moms that we have moms listening that have been out on maternity leave, for instance, and they're trying to come back into re-enter into the workforce and the leadership positions? What would you say to them to do that with confidence? Because maybe they're feeling a little like, hey, I've been gone for a little bit, few months. So what would you say to them?
Ah, well, first of all, like, the mistake I made, and well, being on my maternity leave, and my maternity leave was kind of long. I had two kids. Like I was with them for 4 years. I did some
Mhm.
projects on the side, but I completely lost my connection with my network, and that was a big mistake. It made me hard to get back.
Right.
So if you still like on maternity leave, make sure you keep those connections live. Make sure you talk to those people, ask how they're going, like read emails. It doesn't have to be a lot. Just keep those connections, and it
Right.
will help you get back to work with more confidence. But anyway, like being a mom is such a booster for our brain, dealing with uncertainty, multitasking, lots of things, mitigating conflict. It's such a huge like training for us on various aspects. And I mean, you need to be proud of that. No, no
Yes.
man can do that.
Exactly. It is. It's like having your own little team over here, no matter what. Oh, so Dario, what's the best place that our listeners can connect with you?
Well, I'm very open to LinkedIn connections. Please reach out, send me a message, follow me, connect with me. You can also find me on my website, dariarudnik.com. And I highly encourage you to read my book, Clicking, where you can find practical strategies, like step by step, what you can do to build more self-sufficient team and get yourself more time.
Awesome. Okay, so before we wrap up, I love to leave my listeners with a powerful takeaway that they can implement after this conversation. So, what is one small doable action a working mom can take this week to reduce overwhelm and lead with more confidence, whether she's doing it for her team, her household, or most likely for both of them?
Well, I would say like go through your calendar and see like the meetings that you don't have to be in and see who on your team can be there instead of you. Maybe look a month ahead so that you can prepare those people to replace you on those meetings. it'll help you and it'll help them grow as well.
I love that. I love that because you're empowering someone else as well as empowering yourself to have a little bit more time freedom. And so that's a great tip. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for being here today. This has been a great conversation.
Well, thank you, Shannon. I love the question. This was a really interesting conversation discussion.
Hey, Working Mama, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds to share it with a friend who's stuck in her career but doesn't want to sacrifice her family to grow? Also, please leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts. It seriously lights me up to know this show is helping you navigate burnout, find clarity, and lead with confidence. All right, time to shut down my laptop and pretend I'm not hiding from folding that laundry. I'll meet you back here soon for another episode of Career Growth for Working Moms. You've got this.